This is it! The beginning of a road trip so legendary, it's basically a rite of passage for every overly ambitious adventurer and anyone with a questionable relationship with gravel roads and bug spray. Welcome, my friends, to Dawson's Creek, British Columbia, not to be confused with the teen soap opera of the same name, although I, too, have stared wistfully across a river, wondering about my life from time to time. Behind me, civilization, espresso, and the faint smell of fresh laundry. Ahead of me, thousands of miles of wilderness, moose, questionable gas station hot dogs, and eventually, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, where the road literally ends at the Arctic Ocean. Oh yeah, I'm also going to be leaving these stickers behind me on my journey, and so if you come across one, you are requested and required to tag me on Instagram and let me know you have followed in my footsteps. So buckle up, folks. We're starting at mile 0 and heading all the way north. This is the Alaska Highway, and I'm either gonna make it to the top of the world or at least to a decent diner somewhere along the way. Either way, it's gonna be wild. Come with me then. I may lose man points for this, but I just had a little crying bout. I have been wanting to make this drive on the Alaska Highway for years, and I've been planning on this trip for years. My first attempt was going to be in 2021, and it just didn't happen, and now I'm finally doing it, and the emotions are overwhelming. I have to punch a moose on the way up there just to reclaim my man card. I have officially left Dawson's Creek, and let me tell you, the Alaska Highway does not ease you into anything. 1 second, you're sipping lattes in a charming little cafe in a small little town, and the next thing you know, you're dodging semis, logging trucks, and enough wildlife crossing signs to qualify as a Disney movie. Today's destination, Fort Nelson. Population? Unknown. Technically, it's a town. 5, end-of-the-road energy, but with Wi-Fi. I think.
Now a normal person would grab some snacks, get some shut-eye, and continue down the road, but as we have already established on more than one tragic occasion, I am not a normal person.
Because just about an hour north of Fort Nelson is the Northwest Territories. There is no town here, no gift shop, no gas station. There's no reason to come here, except just to say that I did. Hi, bears! Oh my goodness! Hi, bear! Hi, bear! Oh my gosh! It's a bear! Am I doing this for bragging rights, or is this some kind of cry for help disguised as an adventure? The answer to both questions is shut up. But I have done it. I am here standing on the edge of a place so remote that Google Maps just asked me for directions. From here, it's back to Fort Nelson, and then onward to the untamed beauty of the Yukon. Eventually. First, I need to find a place to scrape approximately 40,000 bugs off my windshield. I swear there are bugs on my windshield that have never been identified by science. So I have seen a wolf, I have seen a family of bears, and I just saw a porcupine. I tried to get a video, but my phone was on camera mode, so I just took a picture of its little porky butt. So today the plan is to drive to at least Watson Lake in the Yukon. However, there is a wildfire raging in front of me, and the road has been oscillating back and forth between being closed to allowing a single lane to go through. So this is kind of the make it or break it for this trip if I can't get to Watson Lake. I mean, if I can't, that's the breaks. I mean, you can't help nature, you can't help things like this. And to be honest, this is just a road trip, and my thoughts and my concerns are with everyone fighting this fire and everyone who is in danger because of this fire. I'm crossing my fingers that I'll be able to get through, but if I can't, I can't. I'll be disappointed, but it won't be the end of the world. Okay, looks like they're going to let single lane traffic through, so let's keep our fingers crossed that everything remains safe. Good thing I had reading materials. I think we're getting clearance to go ahead, so fingers crossed. Yay! Okay, we are on our way. There is a distinct fireplace smell as you go through this area. And there's this haze, and it just makes everything kind of creepy.
Fortunately, the highway patrol in the fire department was able to lead myself and my fellow travelers out of the danger zone, and I resumed my course towards the Yukon. But first, all this fire made me want to get a little wet. On the Alaska Highway is a little place called the Liard River. And Liard River has got hot springs, and I am going on a soak. Ooh, really get that sulfur smell from out here. That is quite a smell. You know, I know the old saying is, last one in's a rotten egg, but in this case, first one in's gonna smell like a rotten egg. And then everyone else will smell like rotten eggs. This is nice. I approve. It gets really hot on this side. Like bathtub's too hot. Huh. There's a bear over there throwing potatoes and carrots into the water. I wonder why. I'm gonna check out the Hanging Gardens because I am a party animal. I kept wondering where the waterfall is, and the waterfall's underneath me, running underneath this boardwalk. That's awesome.
So the Hanging Gardens was not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting something man-made, but no, it's nature-made. It's this tufa tower where the hot mineral water is flowing down into the pools, and as a result, all of these flowers and other beautifulness grow here wild. This is nature's hanging garden, and I'm all here for it. One of the interesting things about the hot springs here is that instead of emptying out into a river like most hot springs do, these empty out into a swamp. This, of course, creates a very unique biosphere with some very rare animals that live here. After wading in that wonderful warm water down there, I do have the slight aroma of Easter egg. You know, the one that you find in September, but still, this is exactly what the doctor ordered after such a long car trip. But I guess it's time for me to continue my way towards Alaska, so let's go. Hey guys! What do you call it if a male offspring of a buffalo is bisexual? Bison! Good seeing you. Bye. So the goal of today's drive is to make it to at least Watson Lake. Population existent. Welcome, my friends, to the Yukon. This is disgusting. Who would do something like this? Now, because of a weird geographic quirk, you enter the Yukon, and then you exit the Yukon, and then you enter it again, and then you exit it again, and then you enter it one more time. It's like British Columbia is having a tug-of-war with you. What is happening with my stand? I look like a Batman villain. And I know there's no sign, but I just re-entered British Columbia. And again, no sign, they're being sneaky, but I'm now re-entering Yukon. And just around that bend, I'm going to re-enter British Columbia. And I'm going to stay in British Columbia for a while until I re-enter the Yukon. It's like both provinces are saying, you take him. No, you take him. No, you take him. No, you take him. And again, there's no sign. But we know. We know. Especially since this road goes deep into British Columbia. There are people traveling this road right now who think they're in Yukon, but they're actually in British Columbia. That's like getting served Pepsi at a restaurant when you ordered Coke. Both good, but there's still deception. And just like that, like the end of a bitter custody battle, we're back in Yukon. Okay, I have a genuine question here, and I'm just asking because I don't know and I don't have internet access to look this up myself. I grew up thinking it was called the Yukon, but everything I've seen up here, every sign says Yukon. So is it still called the Yukon, or is the preferred term Yukon? Or does it not matter? Is it like, you know, you can call him either the Batman or Batman, and he's still gonna punch you either way? The Yukon, a place where people got lost, gave up, and just settled. So I'm in Watson Lake, Yukon. So what do you think, guys? Should I stay at a nice hotel or a nicer motel? So I just checked into my room here at Watson Lake, and everybody, this is like staying at my grandmother's house. And I mean that in the best possible way. It's oddly comforting. Welcome to the one forest in the Yukon where getting lost won't cost you your life. Just your sanity and maybe a few screws off your bumper. I'm in Watson Lake, Yukon, home of the legendary Signpost Forest. where road signs go to retire and tourists come to make their mark. Literally. So, how did this beautiful madness start? Well, picture it, 1942. The Alaska Highway was under construction, and an American soldier named Carl Lindley was feeling homesick. So he did what any homesick GI would do. He nailed a sign pointing to his hometown of Danville, Illinois, to a tree and accidentally created a weirdly touching tradition. And like all great traditions, it snowballed completely out of control. Today, there are over 10,000 signs here, and that's more signs than a Vegas psychic hotline. It's a maze, a museum, a bizarre treasure hunt. Somewhere in here is a stop sign from Germany, a pizza box from Milwaukee, and probably 3 expired driver's licenses from Florida. Yeah, the signpost forest is a big draw, but there's also a cool Northern Lights Center nearby, so you can learn about auroras and aluminum license plates in the same day. Whether you're from New York, New Delhi, or wherever, there's a spot for you here. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's totally worth the stop. So, if you want to leave your mark in the signpost forest, make sure you bring your own custom sign and make sure it's well made so it sticks around for a long time, because this place is really neat just to see everybody who's come on this trip before me. He's so beautiful. So after escaping the signpost forest and adding my own personal touch to the signage to confuse future archaeologists with my beauty, I'm continuing up the Alaska Highway to the mighty city of Whitehorse. Road conditions are, well, the roads exist, I think. Definitely, this is one road you do not want to rush down because, it's got holes in it, like Swiss cheese. You definitely want to take your time on this road, because it be rough. This is a rough road. I had a kidney stone when I left Watson Lake, and it got shook loose. It's in the floorboard down there. I'll pick it up and take it home as a souvenir. And just like that, good roads again. The Alaska Highway needs Prozac. Don't make this road mad. This stretch of the road is pure Yukon magic. You've got rolling hills, crystal clear lakes, almost zero traffic, and the occasional wildlife trotting itself across the road like it's training for a triathlon. There are places on this road that are so beautiful they look like a special effect. Like that kind of beauty could not manifest on Earth without CGI touch-ups. And after all of this wilderness and all of these beautiful snow-capped mountains and all this loneliness, I guess, pulling into Whitehorse is gonna feel like pulling into Paris. There's coffee, there's Wi-Fi, I think there's sushi. Nothing says remote northern capital like raw fish in a land of caribou. I am both intrigued and slightly alarmed. Whitehorse is small but mighty. It's got that rugged frontier energy, but with enough hipster cafes and bookstores to trick you into thinking you're still in a city that hosts open mic poetry nights. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just re-entered British Columbia. The world's saddest custody battle continues. Neither one of them want me, man. Yukon? When is that boy going to be Alaska's problem and not ours?
That's right there.
So, was I roughing it in Whitehorse? Sure. I'm also eating a gas station candy right now, so, you want to call that roughing it, that's fine. I could not find a crunchy peanut butter cup anywhere, and that's about as rough as I get. Just outside of town is Miles Canyon, a place that looks like Mother Nature accidentally sat on the epic scenery button too hard. It's peaceful, stunning, and only mildly terrifying if you're afraid of heights. Whitehorse is the last real stop before things get seriously wild. From here on out, it's mountains, wilderness, and gas stations that also sell bear spray and moose jerky. Next up, Toque, Alaska. Yes, it's really called Toque, and yes, I will be making every dumb joke I can about it. That's a sandstorm in Canada. WTF. High sheep activity. Destruction Bay. It's the most metal-sounding bay of all time. With this part of the road, you really gotta pay attention because this is a bumpy dang road. It will buck you off like a bucking bronco. And you don't see it till you're right on top of it. The permafrost messes up the roads during the thaw, and they become kind of like roller coasters. If I wasn't worried about my shocks, I'd say this is kind of fun. I am about to re-enter the good old USA. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Alaska. I did it. I've officially crossed into Alaska, the land of glaciers, grizzlies, and if the bumper stickers are to be believed, people who can skin a moose and knit a sweater out of its ghost. After leaving Whitehorse and heading west, the road got lonelier, the mountains got taller, the road construction got more out of hand, and the animals got way too comfortable walking down the center of the road like they pay taxes. I honked, he blinked, I apologized, and that's just how things work up here. Eventually, I rolled into the town of Toque, spelled T-O-K, but pronounced like the beginning of a bad stoner joke. Toque is the gateway to the Alaskan interior and, according to my research, a place that exists almost entirely so travelers can gas up, get snacks, and make immature jokes. They toke my money, and I don't regret it. Toque is a crossroads, a quirky, rugged, end-of-the-paved-world kind of place. It's got everything: fuel, friendly locals, and a high chance of being asked if you're really planning on driving all the way to Prudhoe Bay. Yes, I am. Because clearly I've learned nothing from past experiences involving frostbite and poorly timed road snacks. Welcome to Muckluck Land in Toque, Alaska, the strangest place in this entire state that is not a Walmart parking lot. Muckluck Land is like if a roadside carnival in your grandma's garage sale had a baby, and then that baby was raised by an eccentric uncle with a deep love of Alaska and absolutely no fear of rust. Founded in the 1980s by Alaska legend George and Beth DeVore, Muckluck Land was created with one clear mission: to confuse and delight every single person driving through Toque on the way to somewhere else. And folks, mission accomplished. And here it is, the Guinness World Record-breaking Muckluck. It's big, it's furry, and no, you can't wear it, I've already asked. Inside of Muckluck Land, you'll find mini-golf, arcade games from the 1980s that somehow still work, and random Alaska-themed displays that may or may not be haunted. Seriously, one mannequin in the outhouse winked at me, and I am not okay with that. Some of the displays here are nostalgic, others are interesting, and some are retired. And by that I mean you're not getting on them unless you have a tetanus booster and an unhealthy love of danger. So if you find yourself in Toque, Alaska, possibly by accident, possibly running from your past, don't miss Muckluck Land. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's waiting for you, as well as a mosquito the size of your car. Next stop, Fairbanks. It's bigger, it's colder, and it's where I'm going to rest up for a few days before hitting the haul road and going to Prudhoe Bay. Because this trip isn't just about reaching the Arctic. It's about surviving long enough to tell people at parties, yes, I drove all the way up to the top of Alaska, and watching their jaws hit the floor in admiration. Come on. You thought I was heading straight for Fairbanks? Please. If you think I'm driving through Alaska and not stopping at an actual town called North Pole, then I have a bridge to sell you made out of tinsel and spray snow. Welcome to the Santa Claus house, where it's Christmas all year long, the reindeer are real, and the vibes are equal part festive and mildly surreal. You have not lived until you shopped for tree decorations in June while Jingle Bells plays on a loop and a child dressed as an elf tries to upsell you fudge. I came, I saw, I sat on Santa's lap. I may have impulse bought a North Pole shot glass. Zero regrets. After that detour through the most aggressively jolly town on Earth, I finally rolled into Fairbanks, the last major city before I venture into the real wild. That's a train. Fairbanks has everything a road-weary traveler such as myself could want. They've got a Walmart, a Taco Bell, a Sonic, and weather that changes moods faster than I do on low blood sugar. It's a mix of rugged frontier town and small college city. 1 part snow boots, 1 shot espresso, and yes, the mosquitoes are still here, and they have ambitions. From here, I'm tackling the Dalton Highway, also known as the Haul Road. It's a 400-plus mile stretch of mostly gravel, mud, oil trucks, and the occasional wolf just vibing in the middle of the road. And this is it. No more cities, no more Christmas villages, just me, the road, and a growing suspicion that I may be way in over my head.
Yo, radio, okay?
Yes.
Go home.
Ready.
Go home, buddy.
Oh, and I put this sticker right here. Enough talk. Let's do this. Ow, I bit my tongue. As you can see, I have officially entered the Dalton Highway, also known as the Haul Road, because it hauls freight. It breaks dreams, but more than that, it will break your axles. And I said axles. Axles. Although it may break that other thing too. Ha ha! You can't get me through my mosquito-repellent shield of toxic spray! We have officially left pavement because the majority of the Dalton Highway is dirt and gravel roads. So things are about to get a touch bumpy. Ain't nothing like the feel of grit and gravel under your tire. This stretch between Fairbanks and Coldfoot is about 250 miles of pure, unfiltered Alaska. There are no cell phones, no gas stations, no cute cafes. Just you, the truckers, and the occasional bear wondering what you're doing here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've officially crossed the Arctic Circle. That's right. I'm officially in a place where winter is not just a season, it's a whole dang personality trait.
So, welcome to Coldfoot, population uncertain. It's a former gold rush outpost turned trucker stop, and it's the only speck of civilization for hundreds of miles. They have hot meals, they have gas, and so will you after eating here probably. I'm just kidding, it was wonderful. This is luxury Michelin star food compared to the granola bar you were just going to eat out in the woods. Coldfoot is where you pause, refuel, and question every decision that led you voluntarily driving into the Arctic. Now, according to the visitor center back there, I could see musk oxen on this trip, foxes, wolves, or a moose that steals hubcaps, and you know what? I believe every word of that. You know, in my 49 years on Earth, I have never gone camping before, and I think it's time to correct that deficiency. So, tonight, I'm going camping in the Arctic Circle with bears. It is actually warm here. It's like 70 degrees, even though there's snow right there. Thank you, global warming. And thank you for no mosquitoes either. That's a pleasant surprise. So I guess I'm doing this tonight. Fun. It's midnight in Coldfoot, Alaska. It's midnight! What is that? So you remember what I said about it being pleasant at 70 degrees? Well, once the sun dipped underneath the mountains, and I do mean just dipped because it's never really gone completely down, the temperature dropped like a rock, and now it is freezing. And I'm wholly unprepared. So I can't sleep, and I'm cold, and I'm cranky. I still like it here, but I'm very cranky. So since I am currently suffering from a bout of insomnia due to all this, it's about 2 in the morning, by the way. I'm going to go check out these falls. So I'm walking through these Arctic woods all by myself, and it's probably not very smart, but I'm not very smart. Those weren't really falls. It was well, I mean, they were just, it was just water going fast. It was pretty water going fast in a very pretty way, but not falls. And I'm still not tired. I gotta say though, this lichen that's growing all over the ground is really pretty. I wonder if this was some of the quote-unquote snow that I saw coming in here. Because it does, it looks like snow from a distance. I couldn't handle daylight all the time. Darkness I could handle, but daylight, no. This is messing me up on a fundamental level. It's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning. And why is the sky blue? That's wrong. Next stop is Deadhorse, the end of the Dalton, the edge of the continent, the place where the road stops and the Arctic Ocean begins. It's cold, it's desolate, and it's where tires and dreams go to die.
Okie dokie, here we are, the final stretch. In about 6 hours, I will be in Deadhorse, or I will be dead. Either way, think of the views. I have thus far avoided any windshield damage. I was warned that if you go on the Dalton Highway, your windshield is going to get cracked or broken. Because the 18-wheelers, they throw rocks, and they can't help it. It's a gravel road. There are gigantic vehicles going really fast. They're gonna throw rocks. They can't help it. But I did figure out what to do after a couple of close calls. One, pull over and let them pass. That's it. This isn't a race. They own this road. Let them pass. And if they're coming towards you from the other direction, pull over, stop, and let them go by. They're still going to kick rocks, but it's a lot less likely to hit your windshield and a lot less likely to cause you damage. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Quite honestly, the only part of this drive that has really concerned me has been the Brooks Range, because we're going to have to drive through some pretty sizable mountains to get there on a dirt road where there is still ice and snow in June. I don't want to say it's going to be fun, but it will be interesting. This is scary. Well, you can't deny it. I'm in the Brooks Range now. This is where the road gets a little bit perilous, but if you take it slow and you don't be stupid, which is a challenge for me, you'll be fine. The scenery on the Dalton Highway is always changing. One minute you have forests, the next minute you have mountains, and then you have flat plains with nary a tree to see. But there is one thing that sticks with you the entire time, and that is the Alaska Pipeline. It's like a constant companion, in that it's toxic and will probably drain your finances. I sincerely hope that this bridge does not go out. So here's an observation that I would like to give that I have actually not heard elsewhere. I'm not saying that nobody else has said this, I'm just saying I haven't heard it. When you're traveling the Dalton Highway, it's not just the rocks, it's not just the trucks, it's not just the sharp turns you have to watch out for, it's the dust. When trucks pass you for several seconds after they're done, after they're gone, you're basically blind. So it's just a good idea whenever a truck goes by to just stop. Let the dust pass. Everything has gone flat. So that must mean we are drawing near. This is by far the nicest and smoothest road on the Dawson Highway. And it exists in a place that it shouldn't exist. This should be the worst road on the Dalton Highway, and somehow it's the best. So Deadhorse, good job.
Welcome to Deadhorse, the final outpost of the northern world. It's not a town, it's a work camp with personality. The buildings are temporary, the roads are mud, and the local vibe is, we're not here for your clout-chasing vlogging nonsense. Where is their room? I will put it here. Here we go. Oh. There we go. So what does a hotel room in Deadwood look like? Come with me. It is suitable for one person. It's like a college dorm more than anything else. But you know what? I can make this work. Of course, the big question is it worth it? How much was this room? I don't want to give a specific dollar amount, but let's just say it was a lot. Good morning. Let's go take a look at an ocean. Now, I will say that although the rooms are hella expensive here at this place, they do offer free laundry service and free food, which, given the price of food up here, I think it makes this place a pretty good bargain. But here's the kicker. You can't just stroll to the Arctic Ocean. Oh no. You need to sign up for an escorted tour because it's inside an oil field where security is tight and polar bears are not theoretical. And there it is, the Arctic Ocean. A body of water so cold it makes ice cubes feel underachieving. I did it. I drove from Dawson Creek, British Columbia, all the way to the top of Alaska, and then I stood inside the Arctic Ocean, inside the water. I can't feel my toes, my camera is fogging up, a seagull is judging me, but it was absolutely worth it. I've never been further north in my entire life. I don't know if I'll ever be further north in my entire life. I got no words. Got no words at all. Ah, there, I touched it. Oh my God. Are you happy? From forest to tundra, Santa Claus to semi-trucks, this journey up the Alaska Highway and the Dalton was beautiful, insane, lovely, ridiculous, and it's the kind of adventure that I live for. But next time I think I'm gonna go someplace tropical with Wi-Fi and frou-frou drinks, but for right now, I'll take frostbite and bragging rights. Thank you for riding to the ends of the earth with me. Until next time.